count our blessings because we are in Central Florida's Polk County, right here in Lakeland at the 2021 Sun and Fun Fly-In. And Sam, this has been going on for so many years, and one of the guys that started Sun and Fun, and you know they talk about these events, many of these events starting in adult drinking establishments on the back of a napkin or the front of a napkin or both. And that guy that was part of that initial group, Gene Engel. Of course, he's in the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame, you know, Duffy and the rest of them. But John Leanhouse, we just call him Lights, and Greg Gibson, the two guys right now that are running the show and doing a fantastic job. Another great partnership between the city of Lakeland and either a public or a private or a nonprofit organization, and that's what we're looking at and involved in right here. Well, speaking of nonprofit, because it is a nonprofit, there's a lot of educational stuff going on here, but we're going to get educated. He's going to learn us, and that's our next guest, and his name is Mr. Chris Keprios, and that's with a K, both Chris and Keprios, if you're just wondering how to spell his name. But I'm sure Mark Cuddy, our producer, will have it up on the screen. I know that was kind of a boring intro for Chris, and he's a pretty exciting guy, but he is the Senior Director of Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing for Visit Central Florida. And Chris, thanks so much for joining us. You've been around the organization for almost 20 years, and I don't think there's anybody that had a sadder look on his face than when things shut down a year ago. But when tourism shut down, so did the economy in Florida. It's our state's largest industry. I'm going to flip that coin right back over because tourism is the industry that's bringing the Florida economy back. And it's bringing it back in a big way, but more so here in Polk County than probably any other county in the state. And I'm just trying to get a quick peek at what just took off, but it sounded like it's definitely a jet. I don't know what kind of jet. I got to look over to my son Hunter to tell me what it is. But, you know, F-22, we're going to have the Blue Angels here. It's going to be an exciting week.
Absolutely a very exciting week. But, Chris, yeah, please just...
It's the beauty of doing a show live out on location, right? But no, yeah, you mentioned, Mark, how sad we all were when things shut down, but it makes it that much sweeter to see events like this back in business and going again and at full throttle, really, for Sun and Fun. To come out here today, see all the people milling around, it's awesome, and it's a sign that things are back and coming back. So we're seeing that too, not just in big events like this, but just in general leisure travel. So it's an exciting time, and we're glad to see it. I'm just wondering how the order was done today, because I have to follow Miss Florida. Really?
All right, save the best for last, right, Chris?
I guess, yeah. I'll look at it that way.
No, that's really a good positive way to look at it.
Yeah, no, of course. I build those that we were around, so that's what I'm here for.
That's fantastic. Well, Chris, you know, as looking at the numbers and all of the things that are happening now, it almost seems like things are just right back to where we were pre-COVID. But there are some things that are a little bit different. I think the consumer's mindset has changed. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of ways we're behaving and acting differently. But there are some activities, if you will, or some market segments that are really hot right now. And one of those is the outdoor market. Another is the RV industry. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in both of those.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, things are feeling like they're back to normal, but there's going to be a new normal, and the way people travel has changed forever. They're going to expect different things. They're going to want to know about cleanliness from here on out, those kind of standards. But yes, outdoors, we've talked about it. Polk County, outdoors has always been our wheelhouse. We have great outdoor amenities and attractions, just natural social distancing things. But RV, we've always had that, but we've had just perfect timing. 2 brand new RV resorts, high-end RV resorts came online at the beginning of this year of 2021. and they're doing very, very well. And we're working very closely with them to make sure we promote the outdoor market, the RV market, because it's one we haven't really had our hand in that much in the past because we haven't had the supply. Now we do. We have a huge partnership with Camping World in Coleman, a promotion that's going to be launching in the next week. So we're excited about that, and we're definitely seeing big gains in the RV outdoor market, golf, water sports, things that people can do outside. Those markets have just exploded.
Well, I think also, I'm sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to jump on you there, but that whole effort, that energy, a lot of that was, or all of it, was supported by and encouraged by the Board of County Commissioners. They see it as a business. It's a big business in Florida, number one in Polk County too. I mean, 20-some thousand people are employed in the tourism industry. So, that type of teamwork and support that you get from the county commission has got to be really important.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, from the county commission to our TDC board, we talk about us. We really about a year ago today, we developed a comprehensive plan, started from the ground up, to really key in on those major outdoor markets. And our TDC board, all the way up to the Board of County Commissioners, were so supportive of that direction. They saw that vision as well, and we're seeing it now paying off because we have these 2 new resorts that have opened, and just the booming business of the golf market, and being able to see the fruits of that labor a year ago. Again, all the credit goes to the Board of County Commissioners, our TDC board, our committees, our marketing committee, our arts and culture committee. All those things that we planned a year ago are starting to pay off, and pay off big time as we see big gains in tourism tax collections as a result.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too goes back to, and please jump in at any point because you're the expert. But it goes back to the long-term investment years back, and the thoughts on diversifying what Polk County is involved in, and understanding that the more we have spread and diversifying what we do in general, it prepares an organization in an area if something like this were to ever happen. The thoughts and the towards sports and marketing and everything that Polk County has taken and making sure that we have not just everything in tourism, but also in sports, and not everything just in sports, but also in tourism and the attractions that we have here. It's proven beneficial for Polk County.
Well, Chris, I think great observation by Sam, and Chris, what's so important is, sports has really led the comeback of tourism at least in Polk County, that is, and we're so far ahead of virtually everybody else simply because of the sports industry. But that isn't just competitive sporting events. What you've done in the outdoor industry with golf, we talked to Brock a little bit earlier, and water sports, and what's going on there with the cable park and all of this is just nothing short of phenomenal. But it's sort of recession resistant, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and you look at the foundation that was laid. We always talk about supply side. The cable park opened up right before almost all this started happening, and now they're seeing the fruits of all the promotion and everything right before the pandemic. They're booming. Stream Song Resort, another one. There's no tea times available out there. They're full. So yeah, we're seeing all of that hard work pay off, and sports really did, lead the way, and now we're seeing leisure travel come back in a bigger and better way. So it really is. It's come full circle since the pandemic started, and because we have that diversified portfolio, we're not just a meetings and conventions destination. We are so diverse, from sports all the way to leisure travel, and by the way, meetings, conventions. We have that portfolio to help us in those times, and we're not just the one-trick pony that you hear about.
And they're almost complementary and relying on each other sometimes, because no one wants to go play in a soccer tournament in the middle of the field with nothing else around them. So when you have things like Legoland 15 minutes away, or Bach Tower another 20, or downtown Lakeland or Winter Haven all around you, and it makes it much more makes it much more attractive for that team to come out here and play, and then also gets them spending more in Polk County and really boosting the economy.
Well, this is sort of a two-pronged question, but if you take a look, Chris, in what you said earlier about we're not just a one-trick pony. I'm sort of paraphrasing there, but the diversification of our portfolio has made an enormous difference compared to which ties into Sam's question about investing in infrastructure. That model is not a normal model. It's so far out there. But if you look at powerhouses with hundreds of millions of dollars to spend in marketing, and they're having a hard time moving the needle, those two examples, one would be Orlando, the second would be Las Vegas. And again, like you said, they rely on a couple of markets. Anything outside of that, not so much.
Yeah. Well, and it also goes back, like you mentioned earlier, to the foresight and the vision of our board, the Board of County Commissioners, the TDC board. Yeah, things were really tough a year ago today and through the pandemic, but our board and our leadership had the foresight to build up our reserves. So we were able to stay in our international markets when others had to pull out because they didn't have adequate reserves. So UK, Latin America, we were able to, on the leisure travel side, travel trade side, stay top of mind there while others were not able to do that. So now when things do come back, we're going to be at the forefront and others are still trying to catch up. So having those reserves built up, having that planning and foresight have paid off big dividends now that things are gearing back up.
Well, you've got a commission that supports that. A county manager and Bill Beasley and Ryan Taylor, his deputy, they said, no, go. Get that business back as fast as you can. And, you take a look at our track record here in Polk County and the safety of Florida compared to lockdown states like New York and California, there's no comparison. Commerce is thriving. Things are back to almost, I don't think it'll ever be normal again, but, as normal is going to be.
Yeah.
So, we got to give credit where credit is due there as well. Open those doors and, okay, go for it, boys.